A time warp to the era of the Mughal empires and the rule of the Maharaja. The Exploring India edition of the Faizal show takes you on an adventurous journey, immersed in rich culture and history. India is the epitome of wisdom surrounded by history. Explore the bustling streets, the cuisine, and the life and path treaded by sages on this epic journey through India.
Welcome to another episode of Exploring India. This one is fairly interesting because we go again right down into the center of Mughal history. So as you know, the fort, the Agra Fort, was built by Akbar the Great, the third emperor, and there's a very deep story as to how all of that has happened. In this episode we look at that. We walk in the very spaces that Akbar the Great has walked. At the end of the episode we start visiting Fatehpur Sikri. Now there's a very rich history there too about Salim Chisti and the story that relates to Shahjahan. More about that right after this. We finally arrived at the Agra Fort, also in Agra. And when you come to Agra, I think the connection between the Mughal Empire is something that you sense and feel. So I did some reading this morning and I made some notes here on my phone, and it says that this great monument is actually made of red stone, which is interesting because it runs just along the bend of a river here called the Yamuna River, which is about 2 kilometers northeast from here. Well, guess what? 1565 to 1571. That's when they built this particular fort, and it was built by Akbar the Great. As you know, Akbar the Great is one of the names that stands out throughout time as someone that perhaps shaped some of the history in India itself. And then obviously through monuments like this, I know that the one thing that one feels and sees when you come here is that I sometimes think, how is it that they built these things in the 1500s that are so massive and so majestic in stature? Where I'm walking right now, Akbar the Great probably walked here while he was in charge of this very land, and that thought sort of gives me something to think about. When you look behind me, those are the gardens, and what is even further fascinating for me is that how is it that after all this time these buildings are standing, and they appear to, they look a bit dilapidated, but they're standing. courtyard of the Agra Fort. Perhaps the very spot that people like Akbar the Great walked, where they ruled from, where the Mughal Empire was seated. It's a very surreal feeling to be here. Perhaps to understand that maybe very key decisions that were taken in this region perhaps happened right here. Here's an amazing aspect of the Agra Fort. I heard that you could see the Taj Mahal from here, but there's an amazing sight, and you're probably seeing those visuals now. From this very vantage point here, just across the bank behind me, there's a river bank here on the bend. You could see the Taj Mahal sort of just in the distance, a real picturesque image. This area is a very crucial area of the Agra Fort. At some point in Shahjahan's lifetime, he was under house arrest. And this area behind me is the exact area that he spent in that house arrest period. This area, once going on that side, you can also see the Taj Mahal, and that was the big issue with him. He wanted to see the Taj Mahal while he was under house arrest, and that happened right here. Well, I heard from someone else, there's a story going around that at certain times you couldn't see the Taj Mahal and there was a particular mirror that you'd look at. I'm not sure how true that is, but again, that sense of right here, Shah Jahan spent all that time. Hope you've enjoyed that history and that story about the Agra Fort. When you're kind of walking in that environment, and I mentioned this a few times in the episode, one really does move back in time and you try to understand. I mean, Akbar the Great was an emperor par excellence in terms of the position and the role and the impact he's left on Indian history. And when you walk in that space, your mind does warp to the time, like walking in this very spot where Akbar the Great has walked, walking in the spot where he's taken decisions that still shape the current India and the future India to come. Up next, we're off to the very precincts of Salim Sufi Chisti, and that story is a story to behold.
You are the most welcome in my home city, Fatehpur Sikri. Myself is Ghulam Imam and I'm the tour guide for this beautiful city which we're going to visit, and it's built by Mughal Emperor Akbar. Akbar, he was the third emperor in India. So the fort is about 2 kilometers from here. We walk down to catch different bus, which is the non-pollution bus, because petrol, diesel cars is not allowed up to the palace. They close the pollution activities around that. So we use the one which right over there, 100-meter walking from here to catch the bus, and then we will enjoy the mosque area, where it really the white marble tomb, which is a tomb of Sufi Saint Salim Chisti. All right.
तो मोहम्मद ताहिर है सर।
माशाल्लाह।
मोहम्मद ताहिर, हम मुस्लिम।
किधर से आते हैं?
हम
हाँ।
हमारा घर तो फार पे है, तो हमारा इधर में दुकान है अंकल का, तो इधर में हम वर्क करते हैं।
इंग्लिश में लगाओ।
तो dear is my shop and my home all it in the far very, the 1.5 kilometer. That's why I'm coming here. There's my uncle's shop. I'm working inside.
Right.
And handicraft shop. Some people come. Yes, I'm like a cricket. That's why I'm support also Pakistan.
Yes.
There's so many country, so many country who play cricket. South Africa, and also England, New Zealand.
South Africa, who you like cricketers?
Asim Mavla, Imran Tahir.
Yeah.
Yes, Imran Tahir and Salih Baba. No have any cap.
Yeah.
Yes. So sir, you have some time, come back and you see that my shop, okay? 2 minutes, and you have some time.
Where did you learn English?
Look at this fellow. You already
Tourists.
salesman already.
Tourists.
From the tourists?
Yes, from the tourists.
What are you selling in the shop? Tell us that now.
Eh?
What are you selling?
Elephant, delight, one fine elephant. I have so many items.
And you make cheap price.
Yeah, I'm making cheap price. That's why you are coming my shop. I'm making good price. That's why I'm not selling too much.
Not too much.
Yeah, that's why you are not happy. I'm not happy. That's why I'm selling too much. You don't happy. That's why I'm selling good price. You are happy. I'm also happy. So sir, my shop number 62. Okay, come back. You look. Buy is after you. Only look. I'm very happy. Yeah. Also free my shop and the look. No any ask the money. Yes.
So you got some free stuff for us?
Yes, I'm giving you something. You come myself. I'm giving you one small elephant the gift.
We just left. Oh, I'm assuming we left most of Agra behind, and I think we're visiting a Mazaria soon. Am I correct?
Yes.
Where exactly are we?
We are in Fatehpur Sikri, which was built by Mughal Empire Akbar, and because he was not having any child, so he came here, and the Sufi saint here, Salim Chisti Sahab, made dua for him. He tied a knot, and he got a baby boy. So from here he decided to build some big beautiful monument here. So now everybody comes to Agra, they have to visit here to pay their visit to the Dargah.
Fatehpur Sikri is a beautiful tomb, which is a tomb of Sufi Saint Salim Chisti. He lived and lived over here. Akbar, he was the emperor who lived in Agra Fort, which you saw this morning. He married with 3 different religion women. That was the diplomatic marriages to him. By religion, he was a Muslim, and he married with Hindu lady Jodhabai. She originally came from the ruling majority of this area. When he married with this lady, after all the warriors from Hindu religion, they supported to the emperor, and he became a more powerful. And they originally came from the Genghis Khan family, those who were the great warrior, and they brought lots of gunpowder from his country. 45 cannons Emperor Akbar had 500 years ago, and 45 guns he had, so he became more powerful. So Akbar, he don't have any son from 3 queens, so anyhow he wanted a child to continue his generation. So Akbar came to this place where the Sufi Saint Salim Chisti lived. And do you know he's the one of the very greatest personality in Islam, in the Sufis, because he's the one who got a title like a Sheikh al-Hadith. He had a proper knowledge of Islamic system, even the Quran and Hadith. And he's the one who really did imamat in Khane-Kaaba for 8 years. And when he came to India, so do you know about Abdul Qadir Jilani Radiallahu Ta'ala now? Gausul Azam Radiallahu Ta'ala now, he gave him his dress which he wear, Gausul Azam Abdul Qadir Jilani. And this dress is still in Fatehpur Sikri when we have really the festival which organizing by the descendant of the Sufi saint family. We call them Urs. So we showing this all the things, tabarrukat to the everyone. And they just did the ziyarat and we respect with this all the tabarrukat. And do you know what is the concept? We make a Urs. Do you know when Allah Jalla Majdahu give the order to his malaik to call the people, you know, when they're going to die? So when the wali, someone have a wali position, he just have a he just gave them order to his malaik, be very respectful with wali and bring his soul to us. And when they bring the soul of wali to the court of Allah, so there was the delegation with the 500 malaiks with the soul of wali, and Allah gave to order with all malaiks and with the soul of wali did sajda to me in front of the God. They did sajda. So this is the concept, the death anniversary, which is the right concept to make a urs. So this is the one which we try to make very clear vision of this. Why we making a urs? Because this is just the time to meeting with Allah, the soul of wali. That's why we celebrating that. So this is, and the wali is really the very great position which everyone knows this. So the Sufis, the one who brought Islam from the Arabian countries, we don't directly adopted Islam from the great Prophet Muhammad. Atai Rasul, Khwaj Hind, Hazrat Khwaja Muinuddin Chisti Radiallahu Ta'ala now, he is the one who came to India and he got the title Atai Rasul from the grave of great Prophet Muhammad. And he gave the order to them. So that is the title giving like Atai Rasul. So he came and he showed the way of Islam in India. So we people adopted Islam from the Sufism, and then the Quran is a witness of the Sufis. These are the friend of God. They consider like a friend of God. And even the Hadith, is lot of Hadith is approval. What is the position of the Wali in India? Wali in Islam, even in India. So this is the white marble tomb, the Sufi saint tomb, Salim Chisti. We're going to visit this tomb and we make a dua. Alhamdulillah, by the tufel of wasila of Wali, all the dua will complete. So we're going there. So Akbar, he built this palace. 1570 he started to build, and in 1582 is completed. Took 12 years to build this all. So right there, which is the mosque, people pray 5 times in the day. And this is a copy of Mecca, because all the Haram Sharif, you can see all little arches surrounding it, is similar to that, because Persian people, they were the talented engineers which introduced by Mughals when they decided to build something in India. So it's the great influence of Persian engineering. So behind of you, we can see the gate, which is the largest gate in India. We called it Buland Darwaza, the highest door. 56 meters height of the door from the bottom and 90 feet wideness of this gate, which is the entrance gate for peoples when they came into the mosque for prayer. And the small gate where we coming through, this is the gate used by the royal family. They came through by this and they went into the mosque for prayer. And even 16 generations of Sufi saint family are still living. So when the people died to buried over here, this is the descendant of great Prophet Muhammad. Oh, sorry, this is the descendant of the Sufi saint family. So now we are going to see the white marble tomb, visiting a white marble tomb. We make a bazoo first and then we'll go there. And before, we just can have a chadar, which we're going to offering over there. So you can have a chadar from here, right?
The tour operator that we met here gave us a bit of history into this particular saint, Period, and some of the aspects and the relation to Shahjahan. Now, what I find interesting is that Sufi Salim Chisti, obviously, at the time, buried here in this particular, that time, not a courtyard. Shahjahan comes to him looking for his benediction, asking for another child. That event actually happens, and he gets that child. We're not sure if he called that child Salim or not. I still need to get clarity on that. Well, I think that there is some confusion around all of that. But be that as it may, what's interesting is that Shahjahan then builds this humongous monument to the particular saint in honor of some of the work and the benediction that he's given him. what I also heard is the Buland Darwaza on that side is actually the biggest gate in India. I managed to speak to Mansoor Bhai, and he managed to get the information about this issue about whether the son of Shahjahan was actually named Salim, and we got clarity on that. He was named Salim right after that happened, but the name was changed later on to Jahangir. So I think that's where the link actually comes in, and the picture is now very clear as to what really happened there.
Well, you can see the status of the wali that's buried here actually brings to mind the story of Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani when he also helped somebody getting a child, and he's also from the same lineage. So it's special to come here, especially it's from the Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani's lineage as well. It's enlightening, more spiritually enlightening, going to these places, going to the tombs and seeing, just being present there is more than anything else that we can ask for. I mean, a lot of the times I kind of personally believe that if you're not invited to them, you're not going to come visit them. So I feel special being invited to come and visit them,
Hope you enjoyed that. Now, many people and viewers sitting by right now is probably thinking about some of the legends and stories we hear about these great saints and some of the miracles that they performed. My view, you can be as objective as you wish and subjective as much as you wish. The legend still stands that this was why someone like Shahjahan went to him at the time. Whatever the context was is another matter. Right after that, Mumtaz falls pregnant with the then Jahangir, who then becomes the next ruler and emperor of India. All decisions aside, the story happened as it happened. Until next time, thank you for joining us. Do remember to visit our website at faizalsayed.com. Goodbye.